Now, Dragon Quest is a series that I only recently began to have appreciation for, and that's mainly thanks to the newest Dragon Quest XI, but that has nothing to do with today's video. Now, what I really want to talk about is the 35th anniversary of the Dragon Quest series. They're actually having an anniversary stream that is tomorrow, well, as of tomorrow of the recording of this video, which is May 25th. So it's actually going to be on May 26th of 2021. For me, I'm Eastern time, so that's going to be about 11:30 p.m. So yeah, they're having it kind of late, but I'm really excited. So far from what I've seen, there's no kind of indication of how long it's actually gonna be, but based off what I've seen, we have a lot to expect. So they seem to be going all out for this kind of thing. Square Enix hasn't really said everything that will be there, but we know that there's going to be nothing really outside of Dragon Quest in this specific stream because it's the Dragon Quest special. But what I really want to talk about is the possibilities of what we'll see for this anniversary. And I'll talk about a little thing about what we've got from Yuji Horii that he actually tweeted out on Twitter, and the translation of that, of course, of that tweet. So I'm actually recording this part in post because I realized after talking about this topic for 15 minutes, I realized that I didn't even mention one of the most crucial parts of making this video in the first place. And that was the thing that Yuji Horii had actually said on Twitter. And what he basically teased on Twitter was that we were going to get tons of information, including information on quote unquote that game. Wow, that doesn't guarantee, that we're going to be seeing this game or that game guaranteed at that conference. What we're basically can confirm that something, that game, will be shown off. But this video, I guess, is about what that game might be. So let the video continue. But what I really want to talk about first, before I even bring that up, is what I'm anticipating from this. Personally, I think there are about 3 different things we might be able to see here. Of course, we have our normal Dragon Quest Heroes or something like Dragon Quest Heroes 3 or Dragon Quest Builders 3, or I don't even remember there's a third or a second, but we might get another Dragon Quest Builders game. Those are honestly what I'm not really expecting. I don't think Dragon Quest Heroes did that well. If I'm being honest, somebody in the comments could obviously let me know if I'm incorrect there. I played Dragon Quest Heroes, but honestly, I don't think it was, some of the best of Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest Builders is honestly really cool because there's so much you can actually do in that game. And honestly, I'll pick that up before, some of those other world building kind of games. But in actuality, what I think we're going to expect from this live stream is going to be 3 different possibilities. One is going to be a localized, fully translated version of Dragon Quest X. Those of you guys that don't know, Dragon Quest X was actually a MMO game in the style of, Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy XI, etc. That was actually just never brought over here. And from what I hear, it's actually insanely good. It's hard to really hear much about it because anybody that I would probably know to hear something from doesn't even speak Japanese anyway, so they probably wouldn't be able to enjoy the game for what it truly has to offer because there's no official translation. Though, of course, if you go on YouTube and stuff, you can find ways to actually still play the game. I know there's actually a trick to actually be able to download it legitimately and play it legit on Nintendo Switch. But I'm not really into that, primarily because if I'm gonna play a game like that, I really want to know what I'm actually seeing, especially something that's more complex like an MMO. I really want to see it, but especially because some of the gameplay I've seen, it looks like some Dragon Quest awesome stuff, dude. Some Dragon Quest goodness, dude. I haven't seen anything Dragon Quest do something like that before. So, I mean, obviously there hasn't been an MMO, so that's why. But in general, I'd love to see some kind of mechanics that are in that game, not necessarily the straight out whole battle mechanics. I'd like to see something from those kind of games brought into the mainline Dragon Quest games, even though it is mainline, but some people just tend to exclude it because it was never fully brought over to the West either, like a lot of the other games have. But if they can somehow take some of the mechanics like that and bring it into the main games, like for Dragon Quest 12, that would be really, really cool. But speaking of Dragon Quest XII, that is another game I'm going to really anticipate this time, primarily because it's actually been quite a few years since Dragon Quest XI had come out. It's been on basically everything except for your refrigerator, and I think many people have had plenty of time to actually play through that game now. It's pretty accessible. Even Nintendo has gone out of their way really hard to promote that game. Xbox has gone out of their way really hard to promote that it was on Game Pass. You know, they even went out of their way to make sure that the S version that was originally only available on Switch is actually available on all platforms now, which is absolutely great. I still don't like how, you know, they had to go about delisting the original and stuff like that. It's a whole complex situation, but I know it goes a bit deeper because they're actually not the same game the way they were actually developed. So they can't just simply add DLC to the original to make it like the S version. There are actual differences in how the game was built, you know, when it was originally built for the Switch. So I understand that, but I'm not really worried about that. But in conclusion, though, I'd still rather want to really see Dragon Quest 12. Dragon Quest 12 is a game, I'm not gonna lie, especially after, you know, the hero getting in Smash and, you know, Dragon Quest 11 doing numbers and everything. It's easily like one of the best done in the whole series, just because of how accessible this game was, and honestly how well they promoted it. Honestly, I don't really think they promoted Dragon Quest really that well, and especially because there's some time in between these games. Especially because when you really think about it, there's only two, you know, the two games before Dragon Quest 11. Dragon Quest 9 was on the DS. The DS, that was quite a long time ago. You know, there's been a couple, you know, handhelds Nintendo's done since then, you know, and the thing about it, Dragon Quest 9 was never released anywhere else. So the fact that it's been that long says something. And, you know, Dragon Quest 10, like I said, was never localized. So ever since Dragon Quest 8, which originally was on the PS2, we only had one other game that was fully translated on a home console and actually released everywhere, and that's Dragon Quest 11, and that is saying something. So I think it's, you know, pretty understandable to expect Dragon Quest 12 to be announced here. Another thing I wanted to bring up, which is what I also just kind of talked about too, is a remake of Dragon Quest 9. There's been something going around, people talking about how a Dragon Quest 9 remake may be happening. Now, this is probably the least likely. I'm not too sure how they're really going for the remakes of these games. I mean, they have remade games, obviously, like Dragon Quest 4 and 5, you know, have all been remade as well. They ported and I guess reworked a Dragon Quest 8 also to be on 3DS as well. And, you know, all of them have mobile versions and stuff like that as well too. But I really think that if any of these games need a remake or some kind of re-release, it's Dragon Quest 9, because that was actually the first Dragon Quest game I ever played. I didn't beat that game, however, but because I was actually younger when I sampled it, and I sampled it again probably around when I was 20. And honestly, that has such a cool premise of being like an angel and stuff. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. And that's why I kind of love how Dragon Quest does these things. I love Final Fantasy and I love Dragon Quest, but there's something about what Dragon Quest does. It feels like they're so different, and I really like that. You know, I'm not dogging on any other RPG series, especially ones by Square, but Dragon Quest is something different, and I really like that about it. It's not afraid to do something like that, and I think that's really cool. And I mean, I guess it would really work well. I'm kind of not wanting to say this because I feel like as soon as I say this, it might solidify it as something that can actually happen. But what I'm kind of scared for it to happen, if Dragon Quest 9 gets a remake, or a remaster, whatever, I would prefer it to be a console, PC, etc. title, a traditional title. However, I have a sinking feeling that they will actually make it a mobile version of the game. And it sucks because that's what makes the most sense, you know, because that game was originally designed for the DS. You know, unlike say something like Dragon Quest V, which was reworked to work for the, you know, the DS. This game was actually originally made for it. I'm not saying that you can't remake these games into different styles. I mean, look at Capcom. They remade, you know, the Mega Man ZX games that were originally only DS games to work on PC and to work on console. So to say it's not possible is kind of just silly. It definitely is possible. And honestly, if they were going to do it, the 35th anniversary makes a lot of sense. You know, I would feel that they would put more effort into a big milestone like 35 years. 35 years ain't nothing to scoff at. you know, but you know, we're not talking Nintendo here, you know how they do their stuff. But Square, I'd like to think, holds a little bit more caliber to things like re-releases. You know how they've done with Kingdom Hearts, putting all the games into higher frame rates and putting content in the games that we never actually were able to have accessible. So things like that, I'd like to believe Square is really good at doing. So those are my main things that I'd really love. I would really love a Dragon Quest 9 made to work for consoles. You know, if they want to put a mobile version out, that's fine. You know, they put a 3DS version of Dragon Quest 8 and a mobile version out, so that would be cool. Like if they actually made in the announcement that it's going to be coming out to mobile, Switch, PC, PlayStation, all those things, that would be really cool. And going on to another topic, I know I said Dragon Quest 12 already, but there was another aspect of it that I really want to talk about, which leads to the title of this, is that Dragon Quest 12 may actually be a PS5 exclusive. And the main reason that I think that this is possible is primarily because how Square has been seeming to really love PlayStation 5 exclusives, you know, with Forspoken, you know, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade, what we know is going to be happening with Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, you know, with the next Kingdom Hearts games absolutely going to end up being PS5 exclusive, even if it's timed exclusivity. I think that they would be willing to let Dragon Quest, you know, the building blocks of all JRPGs, you know, lead a charge for Dragon Quest 12 being PS5 exclusive. Not that I'm necessarily saying that I want a PS5 exclusive Dragon Quest. One of my biggest reasons on why Dragon Quest 11 specifically did so well was because it was on literally everything except your refrigerator. You know, it was made accessible. Like I actually played through Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch originally, and I played it on PC. That's just S. I also have the original Dragon Quest 11 on PC, which I can actually still play. But you know, I played the S version through Game Pass, which was awesome. But the thing is, I love that I was able to actually do that. But the thing is, if they make a PS5 exclusive one, yeah, it's going to be great. But at the same time, it makes me wonder what I'm going to be missing. You know, modding capabilities, unlocked frame rates. You know, console games don't really add that same amount of accessibility that PC games can actually do. Not that everybody's playing Dragon Quest on PC, but the fact that people who have a PC, you know, and don't have a console could still play Dragon Quest is always a great thing in my head. Somebody who only has a Switch and not have a PC or PlayStation is still able to play Dragon Quest. And I feel like that's something that Square should prioritize over making an exclusive Dragon Quest game, especially when they already make, you know, these things in the past, like Dragon Quest 10 not even being over here, so it's just exclusive to Japan. Exclusivity, I don't think, is a good idea for Dragon Quest as of right now. They need to double down and make it just as accessible as Dragon Quest 11 is, maybe even more, making a mobile version of it. I mean, of course, it would be severely downgraded, but they did that with Dragon Quest 11 also with the 3DS version. The 3DS version and the Switch and PS4 and PC version, that is not the same game. It's literally not the same game, but that version was also exclusive to Japan. But the fact that it exists and work was put into it still shows that, you know, they're willing to go the extra mile for a game they really believe in. But I don't really know. Would I necessarily want a PS5 exclusive one? I would still buy it. I'll say that right now. I'm still gonna buy it because I'm one of the lucky few that actually have a PS5. You know, all it took was selling a kidney, but I ended up getting one, and I'm really, really excited for it. No, I didn't give in, you know, to the scalpers or anything like that. $500 is just a lot to spend on a console. But I'm really, really excited for Dragon Quest 35th anniversary. I know this video has just been me kind of spitting into the mic, but man, Dragon Quest, now that I'm into this series, it's something that I just love talking about. You know, there's so many Dragon Quest games that I still haven't played. I just started Dragon Quest 5. I need to play Dragon Quest 4. I started Dragon Quest 3 and I really enjoy that, especially with its connection to Dragon Quest 11. You know, I want to go back and actually fully play through Dragon Quest 9. I don't know if I'll do that before playing the remake version, you know, because I did that with Final Fantasy 7. I wanted to play the original before the remake, but I really, really want to experience this series and be a part of something much bigger. You know, Dragon Quest is just a series that obviously, you know, defined what this, you know, whole genre really ended up becoming. So I really want to pay it the respect that it deserves. I wasn't actually going to make this video, but I really felt like Dragon Quest deserved it. And, you know, I felt like it was just a fun video to make. But we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program soon. If there's anything that gets announced tomorrow, I will be making reaction videos too. So no worries about that. So once all that's out of the way, you know, and maybe even the Sonic stuff that gets announced the day after all that, then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programs with regular discussions and regular video essays, and we're going to be doing, you know, some good stuff. I really want to make one about Dragon Quest 11 just because of how special that game was to me. So if you guys like Dragon Quest and are excited for the future of this series and have, you know, really excited for the 35th anniversary, definitely subscribe. I can't wait to make some more Dragon Quest videos and, you know, just and talk with more Dragon Quest fans. I really think that's going to be fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name is KingdomAce, and remember, my warriors of courage, to stay strong, stay beautiful, and always look skyward.